Now, Finance Minister Tito Mboweni is demanding Sanral reverse its decision not to take further legal action against e-toll defaulters for now. Many are celebrating the roads agency's announcement. In his budget speech, Mboweni said motorists should get used to the user pay principle.
E-tolls, 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 the bane of many Gauteng motorists, especially those who refuse to succumb to pressure to pay. Thus, despite threatening SMSs, letters, and in some cases summons, Sanral told ENCA the decision to suspend prosecution is temporary. Nevertheless, the announcement has been welcomed by many. Gauteng Premier David Makura is among those celebrating.
I know for many people the issue is when will this finally be resolved, but I want to say that the first step has been taken. And I look forward to a situation where, as a province, we look beyond the e-tolls.
Makura is denying claims that the provincial ANC's opposition to e-tolls is no more than electioneering.
The issue of whether it's election time or not, the matter is affecting people. It has to be resolved. And I have said every year, I'm not going to give up until this matter is resolved. The ANC in this province has said so again and again.
But the Finance Minister, Tito Mboweni, says the decision is a careless one, something that will have a ripple effect.
It's a very bad decision. They should never have taken that decision. It is not helpful in the bond market. It is undermining what we have said in the budget, that we support the user must pay principle, and they must reverse that decision.
And what now for the minority who've been paying diligently? Sanral says debts have not been scrapped. It's only the issuing of summons that's been suspended. It's encouraging those who have been paying to continue to do so. Zikhona Shona, Johannesburg.
Energy Minister Jeff Radebe says coal power will continue to be South Africa's main source of electricity. But he's calling on independent power producers and gas producers to speed up development in order to contribute to the grid. The minister is blaming procurement processes at the Medupi and Kusile power stations for Eskom's crisis. He was addressing the 8th DLO Africa Power Roundtable. Govan Whittles reports.
Sidestepping tough questions. Minister, it's Govan from ENCA. Can you respond to claims that you're trying to secretly push through the Sudan oil can? But Jeff Radebe did have plenty to say about independent power producers.
We need to ensure that by year 2030, at least 20,000 megawatts of electricity is from the renewable sector. As we see it now, at the end of 2018, we're at 3,076. That is installed capacity from renewable energy. And looking at the challenges that South Africa is facing with the crisis at Eskom, I foresee more role for renewables because they are getting cheaper and cheaper all the time.
He says the gazetting of the much-anticipated integrated resource plan is imminent. This will pave the way for a more viable energy source, gas.
If you want to do thousands of megawatt, the quickest and easiest way to do it is using gas. The next step that you can look at is with regard to the costs vis-a-vis diesel. Gas is better. If you're going to be looking at pollution levels, gas is better.
From Marubeni.
But other power producers are less optimistic.
In South Africa, where you expect the developer to put the development cost down and get the entire permits and approval process, 7 years is good luck on the gas to power program, because the silos and the requirements to get all of those permits are phenomenal. You then have the NGOs that will challenge. They've challenged the coal, and I can assure you they will challenge the gas.
Radebe says the recent judgment dismissing an interdict against IPPs means some of the renewable companies can start selling power to Eskom immediately. Govan Whittles, Johannesburg.
And on a lighter note now, the 8-year-old girl who stole the hearts of the president and the nation has addressed Eastern Cape politicians. Daisy Ngedle wrote a letter to Cyril Ramaphosa asking if girls could become president. On Wednesday, she attended the signing of the Electoral Code of Conduct of the IEC in East London.
With a small voice, this brave young girl is raising serious issues experienced by millions of South African children.
I am here to ask you a few things we, the children, would like. We need protection from people who kidnap children. We are always scared at the mall, at the park, and at home. I would like more hospitals so people can get help. I would like more schools to be built so every children can go to school.
Eastern Cape political leaders are motivated by this future presidential hopeful.
We always take pride when we see young people showing that kind of an interest because this is their future. So it's important that when we see such kind, we always actually try to motivate.
She made a very big and loud statement that people should understand, that your children want to live in a South Africa where there's peace and harmony and opportunity.
The IEC in the Eastern Cape has praised the 8-year-old.
There's something that we've missed in the past, that is engaging the youth in the electoral processes and democratic processes.
This ambitious girl says this is the first step towards her destiny as the future president of South Africa.
And finally, Bafana Bafana received a hero's welcome at Ora Tambo International Airport on Tuesday. The boys in green and gold beat Libya 2-1 to qualify for the African Cup of Nations in June. Let's take a look at the celebratory scenes.
As you can see, everybody is trying to hug these players, trying to get in with them.
And that's all the news you need to know. More headlines follow shortly.